Did you ever end up on the streets, or were you in a shelter, or what was that like?
All of the above.
Okay.
It started when I was 15 and has continued on and off ever since.
Oh, since I was 16.
What happened?
My parents said follow the rules or get out,
And?
and I got out.
Yeah, I was 18.
Oh, that was when I was 19. I got kicked out of the house after being beaten up, arguing with my stepdad.
At the age of 17, I was experiencing a pretty rough home life.
I got kicked out when I was 17, so had to apply for housing because I was still in high school and needed a place to live. So
when I was 16 to 17, checked me out.
Describe what it's like to have to sleep outside.
Like use a tent, go in the bushes and just pitch a tent and hope you didn't get caught.
What's it mean to get caught? What does that look like?
It means the police come in, they give you one warning saying you have to remove yourself from the area, go to a different place, whatever, find a place where you're not bothering anybody, which bothering I can't define because I don't know what they mean by that. I mean, I've camped out in parks, I've camped out by the river, I've camped out in many places, and when they find out where you are, they tell you to move.
I had to spend some time outside, sleeping outdoors, and the rain in the fall was challenging for me. It was cold, sleeping bag would get soaked and have to seek shelter. I was harassed by security guard that I was seeking shelter in an underground parking lot just to stay dry out of the rain, and I was asked to move. I couldn't stay there, even if it was just to get out of the rain for 20 minutes.
Being homeless, this isn't good for anybody. Like, I do not feel supported by anyone, and when you have to beg people to stay at their house, it's very demeaning.
So what was that like to stay in shelter?
Shelters were really rough because you were crammed together with other people, like about 4 or 5 other people. I would just like sleep with my backpack on my as a pillow.
Okay.
To be safe and stuff like that, so my stuff wouldn't get stolen.
What was it like staying in shelter?
I found it actually really, really good. It was a woman and family shelter, and there was actually some people I actually already knew there, because I've been born and raised in London. So I found it actually to be not too bad. A little different from curfew and different things like that, but I actually found it helpful.
What's it like trying to get an apartment in London right now?
Oh, I've been looking for a year for a new place. It's quite difficult. It's been a real challenge because I've been denied several times, even though I have good credit and a clean rental record.
So what's the process like?
What's the process like? It's frustrating. Call. Get denied. And they don't have to say anything other than no. And I wish there was a reason that they would say no. They just say no and then just kind of leave you hanging. And then it kind of makes you feel really bad about yourself.
The fact of the matter is that there's a huge list of people waiting for affordable housing or even geared to income housing, but the supply isn't near what it should be to meet the demand.
Keeping places has been difficult because, well, being on Ontario Works, they kick you off for the slightest little things, and then your landlord gets on your case because all of a sudden you can't pay your rent anymore, right? And they're not willing to wait long enough for you to settle everything out with your worker so you can get them a check.
So what are some of the things that have gone haywire in terms of little things that perhaps you got kicked off OW for? What are just some of those things?
For instance, one of my roommates didn't know my real name, saw my mail come in with my real name on it, and returned it to OW. I then had to bring in more intent to rents, showing that I had not gone anywhere during that time period before I could have another check issued and pay my rent.
Okay.
It's not like they couldn't pick up their phone, call my landlord, and be like, hey, is this guy moved?
Yeah.
No? Okay, we'll reissue the check.
Now you finally got into a place recently. What's that been like for you?
I absolutely love it. I ended up at a women's shelter here in London, and then I filled out the paperwork for London housing, and I got put on the special priority list. So I only waited 4 months, and then I got my apartment.
And it feels amazing.
Oh man, I wouldn't change it for anything.
What are some of the good things about being on your own in your own place?
My own space, my own stuff. I don't have to worry about people stealing my stuff. I don't have to worry about people bringing drama into my apartment. If I go out and I meet people for coffee or meeting or whatever we're doing, and when I feel like it, I can go home, and it's my own little sanctuary.
So what's it like to be on OW or ODSP every month?
Sucks.
It sucks. Yeah, it's hard. Not having enough money to get through everything. You know, I have enough to pay my rent and pay my bills, but then there's nothing left over to enjoy myself with, so.
So what do you often sacrifice if you're going to use your check?
Food.
Food.
Well, with the exception of entertainment, usually it's food or something that we have to go out into the community to find, like the meals or whatnot. We end up having to do that instead of spending what little funding we get on food. Just charge that money between all the bills. It's very hard to do.
Most of the time, well, basically I don't eat as often as I should. I sleep more than I can and eat less.
And the meals, there are meals that churches offer, but they're not all downtown. And you might have to walk for an hour or more to get there. So if you don't have a bus, you have to have a good pair of sneakers.
So what do you do for fun?
What do I do for fun? I help out other people. I find that enjoyable and fun. It's not fun sometimes with some of the situations that they're going through, but it's just healthy. It helps me to help other people, so.
Get up in the morning and enjoy the day and go to bed and sleep. Looking at the sun coming up in the morning, look at the changing of the seasons. Doesn't cost anything.
Library, sport events,
Yeah?
movies, trips, yeah.
Well, sometimes I go out with these guys, or I get to go out with my daughter, and I go to the library on a Friday to do cards and that.
There are some of us out there who, if given the chance, will completely take you by surprise. We still have work ethic, we still have morals, we still have values, but nobody gives us a chance to show them.
What makes a place home for you?
That's a very difficult question. It's taken me a long time to understand that word. I still consider myself homeless, even though I have a roof. Just because you have a roof doesn't mean it's a home. It has a lot to do with the word love, and that's another word that I'm still trying to figure out. But if you can turn a roof with love, then you're getting closer to the word home. And when you got it all figured out, let me know and we'll both know.
What does sanctuary mean to you?
Sanctuary means to me, it means home. It's a great place to come, relax, have a coffee, play some euchre, and just relax and be yourself.
We're treated like normal people. That's the best thing. You know, for homeless people, you know, they should be treated like a normal person.
That I like it because you get friends and they're really nice here.
It means a place where you can just come and you can belong and feel accepted. And it's basically my family. I don't have a lot of family left. So it's just a real sense of home is family.
I've come to trust that if I need help, all I have to do is turn my head and there's someone there that would help me, and I don't have to be ashamed of it.
Safety, respect, love. I have a family here that I don't have on the outside, so I love it.